Yo, what's going on, y'all? This is Marcus Rosa, aka Mazuma TV, back at y'all with another live, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive night. I hope y'all had a great day overall, man. Back at y'all with some more boxing talk. We got to discuss some things that's currently going on in the sport of boxing. We're going to talk about Gervonta Davis throwing shots at Artur Beterbiev. Yes, he did. We're going to do the fantasy 154-pound Super 6 tournament on here. You know what I mean? Just to get into some interesting topics with the nation. And we can speak about the Chris Colbert fight that just transpired. You know what I'm saying? I completely forgot that Chris Colbert was fighting, but, shout out to ProBox TV for setting that up, man. Chris Colbert versus Omar Salcido. You know what I'm saying? One of Jose Benavidez Sr.'s fighters. I had seen the fight, you know what I mean? I had heard about it. You know what I mean? Some of the people in the chat had told me about it. So, I seen it pop up on my timeline on YouTube. I went and checked it out. And one of the first things I noticed, in all honesty, man, was Chris Colbert looked like he had little to no muscle or definition on his body, man. Pause. You feel what I'm saying? Look real soft. Pause. You feel what I'm saying? And I don't know exactly what that was, but, at the same time, Chris Colbert don't really got no business being in the 135-pound weight class. You feel what I'm saying? That's just my personal opinion. They had some great commentary as well. Paulie Malignaggi, Chris Algieri, Gerald Miller. You know what I'm saying? They had a few people in the building, man. That was actually a dope little setup that they had over there. But regardless, you could tell that they was like kind of rooting for, Chris Colbert. In all honesty, they from the same city and things of that nature. But, one of the key things that I noticed was Colbert, he looked fast. You know what I'm saying? He was putting his 1-2 together real well. He was catching Salcido, but, Salcido didn't really have any respect for Colbert's power off of the rip. You feel what I'm saying? The body shots were a constant theme throughout the course of the fight. He landed a whole bunch on Chris Colbert, and I knew from there that, if Chris Colbert continued to take them shots, I knew he was going to end up being a sitting duck, and once he became a sitting duck, it was only going to be a matter of time before he gets himself hurt in that ring. You feel what I'm saying? Chris Colbert doing the same shit that he had done in the Rayo Venezuela fight, just staying on the ropes, or at least, like, I don't know if his legs would get tired or he'll get fatigued or whatever the case may be. But, he'll sit on the ropes, and Omar did a whole lot of missing, man. Like, he missed a lot of shots, but the shots that he did land, you could tell they had an effect on Chris Colbert. His body language wasn't, the most confident when he got hit flush with certain shots. Chris Colbert just has no business being in the 135-pound division. I don't know why he continues to go there. I don't know if it's because he doesn't want to cut the weight. That's what I'm going to chalk it up to at the end of the day. You feel what I'm saying? In all honesty, man, especially after that Rayo Venezuela loss, you should have definitely took your ass back down to 130. You know what I'm saying? You can't deal with the power of these dudes. You feel what I'm saying? They're significantly bigger than you. And you don't have the stamina to box these guys for 10 to 12 rounds. You feel what I'm saying? Your power does not translate to 135. I actually seen you slump shit at 130 pounds. At 135, you literally have nothing going on there, man. So I don't even understand why he continues to go there. I don't know if it's the money. I don't know if it's lack of discipline, whatever the case may be. But, Chris Colbert doesn't seem to learn his lesson. The body shots was a huge thing. And it had gotten to a point where Chris Colbert could no longer use his legs or no longer wanted to use his legs anymore. He showed fatigue throughout the course of the fight. There was an exchange that they had. I forgot what round it was. They both threw left hooks, but Salcido's landed. Chris Colbert's shot, I believe, landed as well, but Salcido's was the hardest shot. Chris Colbert looked hurt. He held on for as long as he could, but he was taking a lot of damage, and his corner was noticing that. And his corner had told him, if you don't show me something in this round, I'm gonna stop it. And typically trainers be bullshitting when they say shit like that. You feel what I'm saying? They typically be BSing. You know what I mean? That's probably just to motivate their fighters. But this coach was extremely serious because, Colbert tried to use his legs. He was trying to avoid, exchanges with Salcido. But it just looked like he was merely trying to survive. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't see him really trying to use his jab. I didn't see him, letting his hands go and then, using his feet to make Salcido reset. It just looked like he was trying to get up out of Salcido's way. I think his corner realized that. They didn't want his fighter taking any more unnecessary punishment, so they stopped the fight, which I thought was a good move. You feel what I'm saying? Was Colbert completely getting his ass whooped? I'm not gonna really say that, but at the same time, there was moments where he was getting whooped, and it didn't look like he could do anything to make the adjustments necessary to turn the fight around. I mean, the dude was too big for you. Your power was not discouraging him. Every time he hit you with a clean shot, you showed that it bothered you. You was getting hurt multiple times throughout the fight. The body shots seemed like they was getting to Colbert early. You feel what I'm saying? You had no gas in the tank, and why take a couple more rounds to take so much more punishment? You feel what I'm saying? Thomas Ray said bad stoppage. I don't think it was a bad stoppage, my brother. I don't think it was a bad stoppage, man. Like, Chris Colbert literally had nothing left for Salcido. So you're gonna take him, you're gonna take him through the rest of the fight where he can accumulate more damage and possibly get put on the highlight reel like he did against Rayo. I don't really see that, man. And at the end of the day, that's what a coach is there for. If a coach feel like you're in a bad situation and there's no way for you to really make the fight competitive or even turn the fight around, and you taking a lot of damage slowly but surely in the fight, and you getting hurt multiple times throughout the fight, a trainer has every right to stop the fight. You know what I'm saying? Colbert looked like he went into full-fledged survival mode, uh, throughout the fight. You feel what I'm saying? Old School says after round 5, Colbert showed no signs of winning. Yeah, and that's only halfway through the fight. It was a 10-round contest. You feel what I'm saying? So, if you go in the round and that, and the reason why Colbert, showed no signs of winning because Salcido was landing some nasty, nasty body shots. You feel what I'm saying? And when a little man is getting hit by a bigger man with body shots, it's slow, it's gonna take its effect, man. And them body shots take the legs about you, it takes the stamina about you. And that's the last thing you want diminished when you in there with a significantly bigger man. Chris Colbert has no business fighting in that weight division. I don't know how he did not take that into consideration after those 2 Rayo Venezuela fights. And Rayo is a 140-pound champion right now. Why are you in there with guys that you have no business taking punches from? Is Colbert finished? I'm not going to necessarily say that, but Chris Colbert is putting himself in a real detrimental spot in his career where he might come to the realization that he needs to go to 130, but by the time he goes down to 130, he fuck around and be damaged goods. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you're supposed to be at 130 the whole time. You take a chance, you go up to 35, right? The first Rayo fight, they really gave you a gift. You could have took that opportunity and went down to 130 and possibly got into fights with Lamont Roach or Shockey Foster, whoever the hell the champions are in the division at the time. You chose to spin the block and go into a rematch with a significantly bigger person at 135. You take more damage. You get put to sleep in a knockout of the year candidate at the time. And now you're going in there with another guy who he was honestly the underdog. They said he was the underdog. You were the favorite. And then you go in there, the nigga go in there, and bro, you get cooked, bro. Like, you started off well, your hands was fast, you was boxing well, and Salcido had a hard time hitting you, but you couldn't stay out of the way of getting hit. You feel what I'm saying? And slowly but surely you started to break down, and it became more and more evident as the rounds went on. And I agree with Old School. Soon as the bell rang for round 5, you know what I'm saying? It's the momentum completely shifted. And I knew, and I said it in the group chat, the Instagram group chat. I said he fuck around and get stopped. You feel what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. I think that I don't think it was a bad stoppage at all. I don't think it was a bad stoppage at all. As a trainer, I know a lot of you guys not no trainers. A lot of y'all don't even box. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But I'm saying, like, from a trainer's perspective, if I'm seeing my fighter take that much damage and there's no way I feel like he could come back in the fight, and you know what I'm saying, why would I let him take that extra punishment throughout the rounds when I could stop the fight, he could come back better in his next bout or have more gas in his tank going into the next bout? Because like I said, boxing is a small window. And the more damage you take in your career, the smaller that window gets. So am I going to let him stay for some additional rounds to lose more time in his career? Or can I stop the fight? You know what I'm saying? Go back to the drawing board, let the man rest and recover. You know what I mean? Make the proper adjustments, which is going back down 130 fucking pounds. You feel what I'm saying? And come back, come back in a better position. 1, 2 rounds that could take a lot of time off somebody's career. It could have easily been a situation where you know Chris Colbert could have got put on a highlight reel. His trainer saved him from that. So you know, would I have stopped it if I'm in Chris Colbert's corner? Yes. Look, you're not listening to any instructions. You're taking damage. There's nothing you're really doing that's neutralizing Saucedo's offense and his aggression and his pressure. What did you expect the trainer to do? Just sit there and let his fighter get his ass whooped? And I don't mean to sound too dramatic, but there's a lot of people who that do those additional rounds and lose their life in the ring. If they would have stopped Dadashev a few rounds before when he fought Subriel Matias, he'd probably be still alive right now. Them extra those 3 minutes, a lot of shit could happen in a 3-minute round, man. Marky Don, the historian, he said Chris Colbert is pulling scams in Jersey. Boxing is a side hustle. Oh, I don't know nothing about that. I don't know nothing about that. What shit? But if that's the case, then I don't know, man. That boy gonna get caught up. That scamming shit only get you so far. You know what I mean? J Cash, what up? I ain't even say what's up to everybody, man. What's going on, nation? If y'all can hit the like button as soon as y'all come in, that'd be very much appreciated. I just wanted to talk about, this Chris Colbert situation. You know what I'm saying? That was the reason why I came on the live late. I was just checking out his fight and saying, how he would look. You know what I'm saying? Let's hit the like button as soon as y'all come in, though, y'all. I just wanted to see exactly how he would look, if he made any adjustments, since Rayo Venezuela. But what I noticed was, in all honesty, was for some reason, and I don't know if this is something that Chris Colbert has always been doing, but I just took, I just became aware of it. This man chin in the air. Where the fuck did that come from? I never recall, Chris Colbert having his chin in the air when he's in exchanges or when he's shooting jabs. Like where did this bad habit develop from? Like I don't even understand that, and you definitely shouldn't be doing that with somebody who got punching power like Salcido. I don't even know what Salcido's KO ratio is. Let me check that out. But Salcido, he wasn't even really impressive to me. You feel what I'm saying? Like he didn't really do anything that was like sensational or really caught my attention or anything like that. You feel what I'm saying? But he had a pretty solid knockout ratio. He 19-1 with 13 knockouts. So yeah, he packing up a lot of people. You feel me? So okay. He actually beating some solid fighters too. He beat a couple undefeated fighters, 3 undefeated fighters, 4 undefeated fighters. All right. So he got a few undefeated. He done took a couple people O's. You feel what I'm saying? So he pretty solid. He a young kid too. He only 24 years old. But like in regards to his performance, I didn't really see anything too impressive about him. You feel me? Like I didn't really see something that was sensational. It was just that Chris Colbert didn't have the tools necessary to, overcome what Salcedo was dishing out. And weight classes matter, bro. And I'm gonna keep saying it. Chris Colbert looks like he has no business being at 135. So it really makes me question what the fuck Chris Colbert got going on right now. Like, do you really care about boxing? Do you really care about your career? Or is this just something that, you make a couple dollars doing? Is this something that you good at? So you like, fuck it, I'm gonna get a couple dollars and that's it. It don't seem like you fully locked in on the sport, man. It don't seem like you fully locked in on the sport. If you was truly dedicated and you really wanted to make the best calculated moves for your career, you should know that 135 ain't the step in the right direction, brother. You feel what I mean? And even before this fight, with this fight right here with Omar Salcido, he was supposed to fight Nair Albright. a Philly fighter and stuff like that. You would have fought Nair Albright like that. Nair Albright would have whooped that ass. You know what I'm saying? So it's good that you didn't take that fight. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I don't know. Let me see. Let me see. What's this? Oh, that's the pumpkin.
Yeah.
I can't. It's upside down, so I
Oh,
can't see.
sorry.
What? I see it.
Don't look too hard.
Anybody worry about that? You practicing? You gonna be all right? Let me see something. Rayo split with Jose. I think that Jose is still managing him though. Like I know Rayo's with Robert Garcia, but I think Rayo and Jose Benavidez Sr. still have a relationship. I still think he manages him. So he's not training him no more, but he's like on the management side, still guiding his career. From what I understand, I don't know if anything has transpired since then, but that's just what I had heard at one point in time. Ross said, Mark, you remember when dudes was saying Colbert was better than Shakur back when they was at 30? Yeah, I do remember that. And I remember they was on live talking crazy back and forth to each other. Like Chris Colbert was like, yeah, Shakur, you can't fuck with me, blah, blah, blah. Shakur like, man, you got me fucked up type shit. Uh, I remember Chris Colbert kept talking about how he was a dog, how he was a dog, how he was a dog. And this was before the Hector Luis Garcia fight. You feel what I'm saying? Talking all this gangster shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, bro, whole time, bro, Hector Luis Garcia showed that you was cold turkey. And ever since then, bro, you've been on your career just completely derailed, bro. Hold on, Anonymous said, nah, Rayo just put out a new tweet saying their manager relationship is over too. Oh shit, okay. That's interesting. And that's kind of fucked up. I wonder why that happened like that. Cause Jose Benavidez put that man in a position to be where he is today. So I wonder what happened with that, man. Like if you choose not to train with him no more, that's cool. What?
Nothing. It's just Facebook posts.
Uh, oh wow.
Your
They call him
father
as soon
said
as
that.
possible. That's hilarious. Uh yeah, Jose Benavidez Sr. makes shit happen, bro. He makes shit happen. Like really think about it, yo. Like, obviously David Benavidez, by the time by the time Jose Ben by the time David Benavidez was in his early 20s, this man was world champion. Jose Benavidez Jr., bro, like he got him in position even when he wasn't like a top rated fighter in his weight class. Got him the Terrence Crawford fight. You know what I'm saying? Got him the Danny Garcia fight at 154. Got him an opportunity against Jamal Charlo. Even this man wasn't really a big name with anybody, but got him in several positions to make a lot of money. That was great management moves, bro. Yeah, he coached Rayo to a title. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He was the one who really had Rayo name popping because Rayo was coming up under David Benavidez and all that. They were supposed to be like the niggas that was clicked up and shit like that. And Jose was the one who got him off the ground with them Tiafimo sparring rumors and all that shit. Royal NBA says Robert Garcia Jim end guys' careers. I don't know about that. No, Robert Garcia be doing his thing, bro. Right, yo, on some real shit, Robert Garcia got one of the best stables in boxing. He got one of the best stables in boxing. Like we could really talk about it. Robert Garcia always had a gym full of dogs, bro. Always had a gym full of dogs. I remember, Robert Garcia. He pretty much took over, his father training duties and shit. His father's a lot older now. But I remember at Oxnard, bro, these niggas had like a wall. What you mean, bro? Yo, Robert Garcia really got champions, bro. Do I really got to name them? Like he really got top dogs, bro. He said they hit gold on Bam, but besides that, bro, they've been, Robert Garcia has been relevant for years, bro. Yo, no, I'm not even talking about 2024. I'm talking about like in general. Like, there's not one era of boxing, like in these past few eras, that Robert Garcia hasn't made a name in. Whether we talking about when he built up his, first of all, Robert Garcia was a world champion. He retired early. You know what I mean? Started training his brother, Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia, a 4 division world champion, bro. You know what I mean? You could put him to the side. He had Brandon Rios. He had Antonio Margarito. He had Kelly Pavlik. He had Fernando Vargas. Bro, like they done been around, bro. Like these niggas is as decorated as could be. Like if we talking about Bam right now, all right, Bam, cool, but he also made Jose Ramirez a world champion, and he's still a top contender at 140 right now. He's still trying to find his way back at the top, but he still got Jose Ramirez. Uh, they got a little nigga named he looked like he the real deal too. I think his name like Chop Chop or some shit like that. Nah, you got Robert Garcia fucked up, bro. Nah, you got Robert Garcia fucked up. Even when Marco was Mike Donna, bro. Come on, man. But anyways, yeah, Robert Garcia, chop chop, nasty, bro. That little nigga look like he the truth. And I think am I tripping? Don't Robert got Virgil? Or Virgil went somewhere else? Yeah. He with Virgil right now. Got Virgil too. Robert Garcia definitely the truth. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. You can't put no stains on that man's jacket. You feel me? But yeah, man, let's talk about Gervonta Davis, man. He probably done deleted this fucking tweet, bro. At this point, I put my notifications on whenever Tank tweets something because I know by the time I look, it'll be deleted. So I just check it out right here. Yeah, our Robert Garcia Boxing Academy is a high level gym. Yeah, definitely, definitely do. While Tank talking greasy. All right, let's get into it because, like I said, he probably deleted the tweet by now. Let me actually see if he did, because sometimes he'll leave something up for a while. Let me see. Let me see. Oh no, he actually kept the tweet up. Watch Pagaz show up. Man, I don't give a fuck. Pagaz be in his bag. That boy be running the tank A like a motherfucker. So check this shit out. So there's somebody by the name of Iceman John Scully. He was a former light heavyweight boxer himself. I recall him. I think he fought Michael Nunn, and he's been around the block. You feel what I'm saying? Now he's a trainer, and he's actually the trainer of Artur Beterbiev, right? And I guess he was doing an interview by somebody named Norbs. I actually know Norbs from Ultimate Rap League URL, smacking them. But I guess like he got a podcast now where he be talking boxing or whatever. And just like a lot of these dudes, all of a sudden everybody jump out the woodworks, and they just jump in the boxing. NBA players can jump in the boxing, and fucking I seen, what was it? I seen 2 football players on Top Ranks channel commentating boxing. I think it was like Ocho Cinco and who was the other one? Was it LaShawn McCoy? Like, who the fuck is these niggas? Why do y'all keep giving different athletes platforms to talk about boxing? Like, what the fuck is going? Regardless, bro, that's a different topic. Uh, Norbs did an interview with Iceman John Scully, and I didn't watch the full interview, but one of the headlines that John Scully actually said was Gervonta is not a Hall of Fame fighter. You feel what I'm saying? Not a Hall of Fame fighter. I didn't hear his reasoning. I don't know exactly what he said, but that was the headline. As a matter of fact, let me hear what he had to say. Let me hear what he had to say.
Exactly what he said, but that was the fight. Apparently, Lamont Roach at 130, and I think a lot of people are upset about that. Like, he's not fighting any of the champions. He's not unified, and people still have him as a top pound for pound fighter. If Gervonta,
not Mazuma TV, not Mazuma TV, we don't got him as a top pound for pound fighter. Shit, they was mad in them comments on my community page. If y'all peep.
Davis would have retired today. Would he be considered a Hall of Famer in your eyes?
No. And you know what? Because, I mean, probably in this era and the way they do things, probably. You know, but for me, the Hall of Fame has always been the elite of the elites. You know what I mean? You're talking Sugar Ray Robinson. You're talking Henry Armstrong, Joe Louis. You're talking Sugar Ray Leonard, Muhammad Ali. Again, I don't want to say any names, but there are guys in the Hall of Fame. Absolutely, positively, there's no way on earth they should be in the Hall of Fame.
Now, I agree with that 1,000%. There's a lot of people in the Hall of Fame that have no business being in the Hall of Fame. Just my personal opinion. You feel what I'm saying? But let's continue.
Zero. And by the same regard, Marlon Starling. I remember Marlon Starling. He was welterweight champion twice. He's the first guy. He beat Mark Breland when Mark Breland was unbeatable. Knocks Mark out. He beat Lloyd Hunnigan after Lloyd Hunnigan beat Donald Curry. Marlon Starling fought better competition in 10-round fights, in non-title fights, than most champions do today. I could give you a list of 15 guys that Marlon Starling beat in his career that were undefeated, that were killers, that were contenders. Marlon Starling is not even on the ballot for the Hall of Fame. He's not on the ballot. Something is wrong. Is it a real thing that they?
And there's plenty of other fighters as well. Like I seen, this probably me being biased, but like Edwin Rosario, you know what I'm saying, Puerto Rican fighter. He's never made the ballot of the Hall of Fame. Whatever the case may be. Old school says Tim Bradley. I like Tim Bradley resume, man. I like Tim Bradley resume. Old school, you don't fuck with it. Look through Tim Bradley resume. He got some good names on his resume, dog. Let's look through Tim Bradley resume real quick before we get into this topic. But, Brandon Rios, former world champion, for what I understand. Jesse Vargas, former world champion. Well, Marquez, that's a Hall of Famer right there. Ruslan Provodnikov. They gave him Manny Pacquiao that fight. Joel Casamayor, Devin Alexander, Juan Carlos Abreu. That's a solid name. Lamont Peterson, Kendall Holt. I remember Edna Cherry. I remember him. Junior Witter. Tim Bradley got some names in terms of resume, dog. Tim Bradley got some names for sure. He said Tim was happy as fuck he lost to Manny. Yeah, Tim Bradley fell. He fell victim to that pressure, to that backlash. He even admitted that that really got to him mentally when he was receiving all them death threats from Pacquiao fans and shit like that. Tim Bradley saw it for real. Bradley got a solid resume, dog. But anyways, I'm gonna say there's people more unworthy than Tim Bradley that's in the Hall of Fame right now. You feel me? But that's just my opinion. You feel what I'm saying? But regardless, that's what John Scully has said about Gervonta Davis. You feel what I'm saying? He's like, he pretty much saying maybe in this era how the way they do things, which is not facing elite competition. I'm assuming that's what he's insinuating. Tank may be a Hall of Famer, but when we talking about the real Hall of Famers like Sugar Ray Leonard, Sugar Ray Robinson, all these different dudes, and he mentioned, and he even gave you a great example of somebody who he believes is worthy of being in the Hall of Fame, but doesn't even make the ballot, in Marlon Starling. You feel what I'm saying? So he's like, this dude done face and beat more top competition and non-title fights than these world champions do in this era. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that he's really a Hall of Famer because, he hasn't really beat anybody elite. You feel what I'm saying? And this has been a constant criticism of Gervonta Davis for a long time. So, I don't think he's necessarily wrong in that. I actually respect his opinion because, he said no. He gave you the reason why. He told you he told you who the elite guys are that's in the Hall of Fame and how, Gervonta Davis hasn't done what they've done. And then he's even brought up guys who's not in the Hall of Fame that have better resumes than Gervonta Davis. You feel what I'm saying? So, I don't really see anything wrong with what he said. That's a respectable opinion. When you have an opinion and you able to back up your opinion with, credible with solid information, it's hard to go against that, even if you disagree with it. You feel what I'm saying? So Gervonta Davis definitely didn't like, what John Scully had to say about that. And with John Scully being Artur Beterbiev's trainer, Gervonta Davis responds and says that big, strong ass goofy that he trained, not a Hall of Fame fighter, and he's ass. So of course he's alluded to Artur Beterbiev. You see what I'm saying? Now, my opinion on this situation, man, it just seemed like Gervonta Davis was finding a way to clap back. You feel what I'm saying? He didn't like the whole thing with John Scully saying that. And he says that Artur Beterbiev is not a Hall of Famer and that he's ass, right? So let's really talk about this, man. Is Artur Beterbiev a Hall of Famer right now? For this era, he might make it. You feel what I'm saying? Because he's got some solid wins on his resume, man. And it's hard to not make an argument for somebody not being in the Hall of Fame when they've achieved the ultimate goal in boxing. That's becoming undisputed, bro. Becoming the only champion in your weight class. The high knockout ratio, everything, bro. It's like on some real shit. He has one thing on your resume that Gervonta Davis doesn't have. Artur Beterbiev has been unified. He's beat the best guys amongst his division. Like, on some real shit, bro. If we talking about accomplishments and accolades, all right, Artur Beterbiev might not be the draw or the pay-per-view star that you are, but he's done some greater shit than you. He's done something in his weight class that you haven't done in the 3 weight classes that you've explored. And that's unify, face the elite in your division, and become undisputed. So, I mean, and with this being said right here, I don't think an ass fighter can do what Artur Beterbiev did. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, Artur just beat a top pound for pound fighter. When has Gervonta Davis ever done that? What are Gervonta Davis's best wins? We talking about Ryan Garcia? What we talking about? Jose Pedraza? Like, if we really talking about resumes, dog, like what Artur Beterbiev did at light heavyweight was much more impressive than what Tank did at 130, 135, and 140. If we being honest. Now, Gervonta, he a grown ass man. He could say whatever the hell he want to say, but I don't really think John Scully was wrong for his opinion. You know what I'm saying? I don't really think he said anything that was too outlandish. Like I said, he provided his opinion. He gave you some good reasons behind his opinion, and he just left it at that. I don't really think the man was hating or anything like that. You feel what I'm saying? They asked him a question and he answered it. I don't understand why Gervonta Davis got so emotional and felt the need to, disrespect a fighter that he trains, especially when that fighter that he trains is accomplishing more than you. You feel what I'm saying? Now, people going to take this right here. They're going to look at it. They're going to get pissed off, call me all types of Gervonta haters, but you can call me a hater all you fucking want. You call me a hater all you want. Am I wrong? Thomas Wright said another Muslim brother too. Gervonta even said that Devin Haney wasn't his brother. You see what I'm saying? And Devin Haney's a Muslim too. You feel what I'm saying? Like by your religion, anybody who shares the same religion as you, you're supposed to consider your brother. Gervonta said, "Oh, that's not my brother." So he just joined this goddamn religion. And he already going against the main principles of it. So I don't ever understand why Gervonta would even commit or convert to Islam when he's not even going to follow the protocol that comes with that religion. I don't really understand that shit. You know what I'm saying? And that I even seen him get offended when somebody called him Abdul Wahid. Bro, you chose that fucking name, bro. Why you getting mad that people calling you that? No, dickhead. Like, he said some crazy shit like, is your real name, is your official name Abdul Wahid now? And he like clapped back at boy all crazy. Gervonta is a very confusing individual, bro. Gervonta, he converted to Islam, bro. He converted to Islam, bro. He's a very confusing individual, bro. Like, I don't know. I don't know if he fully committed to it like he claimed to be. I don't know. I don't know what he did it for. It's like a lot of these rappers, they converting to Islam and you know what I'm saying? I don't even wait. Hold on. Let me check this shit real quick. Some Muslims believe that the Quran prohibit music and that certain hadiths, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, hadiths, argue that music is haram. Okay. It's a decent amount of people who became Muslim as a trend. Hey man, that's a sticky topic. I don't really want to get too deep into that pause, but yeah. So a lot of Muslims believe that music should be prohibited. Yeah, they feel like they feel like music is haram. Yeah. But it's a complex and controversial matter, you feel what I'm saying, between Islam and music. So I ain't gonna get too deep into that. That's just something that I heard before. Jenks said Beterbiev probably doesn't even know who Tank is. Dude said he never seen a Benavidez fight. Yo, bro, you would be surprised on how much boxers don't watch boxing, and that shit is like baffling to me, bro. Like I know, and a lot of talented, gifted fighters too that I've come across. You know what I mean? Some of them students, you feel what I'm saying, which is why they've gotten as far as they've gotten. But you know, you'd be surprised, bro. Like, and it's like, bro, how can you be a part of a sport or something be so big in your life and you don't even take the time to like indulge in it or even like study it or explore it? You feel what I'm saying? Like, I watch boxing all the time. You feel what I'm saying? Even if I watch the fight that I watched a million times, I'll watch the fight. You feel what I'm saying? If any top fighters are fighting, I'll watch the fight. Like I'll tell you this, my father, he used to watch boxing all the time. He don't even watch it no more. You feel what I'm saying? I heard Tank say, what did Tank say the other? He said something crazy. He said that it was like a real popular fighter. I don't know if it was Muhammad Ali. I think he said like he never watched Muhammad Ali fight or some crazy shit like that. And I'm like, bro, like y'all niggas just be, which y'all just go to the gym and then when y'all go home, y'all just forget about boxing. Like how? I don't know, bro. I don't know, bro. I think I did hear Beterbiev say this. Royal NBA said Beterbiev said boxing is job, so he doesn't want to see it when he at home. I think he did. I think I did hear him say that. Oh, it was Hagler. It was Hagler. Yeah. Anonymous, you right. It was a big name. He said he never watched Hagler fight. Yeah, I remember that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it Beterbiev say boxing his job. He definitely don't love that shit. I don't know. I feel like if you truly love something, you don't really, or you passionate about like your career or whatever, you don't look at it as a job. I don't know. That's I don't know. That give me mixed feelings. But I consider Tank a street dude. I don't know him. I don't know him. Silks Bando said Tank fell down to his knees like Dirk when he saw Colbert lose and couldn't fight him. That's hilarious. Beterbiev definitely doesn't watch boxing, but Beterbiev is humble. He openly says he's not a good boxer whenever media ask him. I think that's him just like, yeah, that's definitely him being humble, but he definitely don't mean that shit. He talking bullshit for real. Ain't no way, bro. You beat a lot of the top guys in your division. You're undisputed at light heavyweight right now. How the fuck are you not good? So by you saying that, it's like you insulting your competition. It's like, bro. So you saying Bivol and all these other niggas, Joe Smith, you saying they all ass? Like, come on, dog. It's okay to give yourself some credit sometimes, man. Not don't get too crazy and get all arrogant, but you know what I'm saying? It's okay to pat yourself on the back for, being amongst the best in the world. Colbert beat Hector, he would have got that Gervonta opportunity. They definitely would have lined that up. They was both with PBC. Yeah, they definitely would have lined that up. Both Bivol and Beterbiev didn't sound so confident about winning the fight after the fight interviews. Yeah, I think they were both like, shit, this could go either way type shit. But in all honesty, after the fight, it seemed like Bivol was more confident than Beterbiev. Beterbiev went back to his corner. He showed no type of emotion. Like he was stretching out over the ropes, had his head down. And I'm like, bro, look at this body language. Like Beterbiev just looked like he was upset or he was disappointed. It was like almost like he was, I'm not going to say admitting to defeat, but he knew he like fucked up somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Bro, look, Anonymous, and I tell people this shit all the time, bro. And this has been a constant cycle as long as I've been part of boxing. It's like there's always those few couple dudes that are talked amongst the best or supposed to be amongst the best, and then one or two fights they completely fall off the radar, bro. Like, look at how the way JoJo Diaz's career panned out, bro. Like, JoJo Diaz was doing his thing. Beat Tevin Farmer. I mean, he lost to Gary Russell, but he still was doing his thing. He beat Tevin Farmer, had the world title, and then completely fell off after the fact. Career completely fell apart. This man was an Olympian. Like, he did some amazing shit. And then, like, now he's pretty much being looked at as like a journeyman, bro, on some real shit. Like, if he's not there, like, he's probably one or two fights away from it. Another thing, who Jared Hurd, bro. Remember when fucking 150 Jared Hurd was on fire at 154, bro? Like, doing his thing. He beat Erislandy Lara, bro. Like, he did some amazing shit at 154. You know what I'm saying? They was lining him up for Jamel, bro. He had one fight with J-Rock. One fight. Completely fucking fell off, bro. J-Rock too. J-Rock had one good performance, became unified at 154, then he fought Jason Rosario, completely crashed and burned, bro. Like, it's crazy how, like, you could be in boxing, you could be one of them niggas and then just become an absolute nobody within 1 to 2 fights. Joseph Adorno, I'm not gonna say he ain't get to the top, but like, yeah, I remember he was being talked about a lot when he was with Top Rank. You feel what I'm saying? When he was with Top Rank, they was talking about him a lot. He was getting some crazy knockouts, but then once they started stepping him up, well, I know exactly what happened. He was pissing them higher up. He was pissing off them higher ups at Top Rank, so they started lining him up with some bad styles. You know what I'm saying? Blatantly missing weight, ducking certain fights, and Top Rank had enough, bro. So they was like, we gonna throw this nigga to the wolves and then, get him up out of there. Peaceful, what's going on, Peaceful? But yeah, so I spoke about the Gervonta Davis throwing shots at Artur Beterbiev. I think it was corny in all honesty, bro. Artur Beterbiev, you say he's not a Hall of Famer and he's ass. Well, I'll tell you what, if he's not in the Hall of Fame, he's closer to the Hall of Fame than you are. I'm gonna just say that. Better resume within his weight class. He has better accolades than you. Actually reached the undisputed status. You have yet to become unified in your division. You have not faced the elite amongst your divisions in the 3 weight classes that you've been in. Artur Beterbiev has done that, And for you to call Archer Beterbiev ass when he's literally the number one light heavyweight in the world and has beat every top lightweight that has been in front of him, sound like you hating, bro. Sound like you hating. You feel what I'm saying? It just sound like you coming across like a hater. You don't got no facts behind what you saying. You just disrespecting niggas for no reason. Just because his coach had an opinion, you gonna throw a shot at Beterbiev. Beterbiev probably will never even see that motherfucking tweet because it seemed like he one of these caveman ass niggas that be disconnected from social media and shit like that. But you know, regardless, you definitely hate. What? Yeah. Mm. The fuck? Anyways, he said Gervonta is uneducated. I think uneducated. I think it's deeper than that, man. I think it's deeper than uneducated. He said you could tell Beterbiev a square. I don't know if he is square. I just feel like the dude just different, bro. Like them I don't know, them Muslim dudes that be from overseas is I don't know, they move totally different, bro. Like he give me like Khabib vibes. You know what I'm saying? He don't talk as much as Khabib, but like how the way they like so reserved and you know what I mean, don't talk too much and they don't take kindly to disrespect, but at the same time, like you know, they pretty humble dudes. They like the same type of people to me. You feel what I'm saying? You said devout Muslims stay away from BS. That's a fact. That's a fact. Yeah, like them dudes over there, them Russians that be Muslims and shit, bro. They move a certain way. You know what I'm saying? They prioritize different shit. They stay away from certain shit. You feel what I mean? Like the Muslims that be from down here and the Muslims that be from up there, two totally different Muslims, in my opinion. I remember Khabib wouldn't even take a picture with a woman. He wouldn't let. I think like I think like one of those female reporters, fucking like touched his hand one time, and he looked like he was so disgusted, bro. He looked so disgusted when that woman touched his hand. It looked like he low key wanted to slap fire out her, bro. The Muslims don't play that shit at all. But anyways, we ain't about to get into too deep into that. Pause. Let me see. Let me see where the likes is at right now. Cause we got 29 people in the building. Let me see. We only got 16 likes. Let's get the likes up before we get into this, bro. Arturo Gotti don't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. He was one of the first people that popped up in my head. Like Arturo Gotti, a Hall of Famer. He's not a Hall of Famer, bro. I'm sure that was one of the guys that John Scully was referring to too. No disrespect to Arturo Gotti, warrior. He had some great, memorable moments in the sport of boxing, but in terms of him being a Hall of Famer, absolutely not. Absolutely not. You feel what I'm saying? But that's just my opinion, bro. Yeah, Sylvester Stallone is in the Hall of Fame, but it's not for boxing. It's because of, the movie that he made that like transcended boxing or really put boxing on the map. It wasn't because he was a great fighter. It's because what he did for the sport of boxing, what he contributed to the sport of boxing. You feel what I'm saying? And what you say, Lo? You said, hold on, let me read this, bro. You said you spelled Arturo Gotti's name wrong. Are in the Hall of Fame, and he didn't have half the career that Tank is having. Plus, Hall of Fame is Hall of Fame, not Hall of Fame accolades. What does that mean? Don't you need Hall of Fame accolades to get into a Hall of Fame? Wasn't that like the whole basis of the Hall of Fame? For you to be a Hall of Famer, you had to do Hall of Fame shit. You had to have Hall of Fame accolades. I thought that was how you got into the Hall of Fame. I guess the whole standard switched up in this era, which was what John Scully had said. But I don't really understand that point right there. You said Hall of Fame is Hall of Fame, not Hall of Accolades. Don't you need accolades to get into the Hall of Fame though? What is the requirements behind getting into the Hall of Fame? Because I swear to God, for you to be the Hall of Famer, you had to do you had to have certain accolades to get in. You know what I'm saying? Nah, bro. You say a lot of them got off of popularity, and what I'm saying is, and that's what John Scully said. Like, the whole standard of the Hall of Fame shit had, practically switched up. But I don't think the Hall of Fame should be a popularity contest. I think the motherfuckers that vote people into the International Boxing Hall of Fame, they just biased and they have certain agendas. I'm gonna tell you this right now, and congratulations to my one of the coaches at my gym. She just got inducted, Coach Sharon Baker. She just got inducted into the PA Boxing Hall of Fame. This woman has been coaching people for damn near 50 years, bro. She done been a part, she partnered up with Brother Nazim Richardson, with Bernard Hopkins, Shane Mosley, Steve Cunningham, Carl Dargan, all these big names. And she done been around so long. And it took her almost 50 years to get inducted into the Hall of Fame. And if we didn't push for it, she probably would have never gotten inducted. She wasn't even getting on the ballot. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and it's because, these people that be inducting people in the Hall of Fame, they be giving them, they don't really be fair and objective with who they vote for. You know what I'm saying? It's just a lot of bias, bro. A lot of bias. If we didn't really push for this or really start, making those voters, if we didn't put the pressure on those voters to, get her in, she probably would have never got that call. You feel what I'm saying? But, it is what it is. Arturo Gotti don't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. That's all I know. That's all I know. You feel me? Bro, why is we talking about Devin Haney for? What's the purpose? Why are we talking about him? We was talking about him yesterday. You missed it. Why you feel the need to talk about Dev? Why Dev on your mind? He ain't got no fight coming up. Why we talking about him? So, anyways, I spoke on what I spoke on with Gervonta Davis. You feel what I'm saying? So let's get into the moment that we've all been waiting for, man. Y'all requested it yesterday. So, I'm gonna give y'all, something to look forward to. And that's the whole the fantasy 154-pound Super Six tournament that I got coming on right now. You feel what I'm saying? Let's get into it, man. So yesterday I had made the bracket for y'all, and I had listed, 6 of some of the top 154-pound fighters in the world right now, and we going to decide who ultimately wins this tournament at the end of the day. So we have Terrence Crawford, Jermell Charlo, Bakram Murtazaliev, Tim Tszyu, Virgil Ortiz, and Sebastian Fundora, man. Sebastian Fundora, who's the unified champion, the WBO and the WBC. Terrence Crawford, who is the WBA champion of the world, and Bakram Murtazaliev, who is the IBF 154-pound champion of the world. You feel what I'm saying? I also got Tim Tszyu, who Bakram should be facing sometime soon. You know what I'm saying? I'm rooting for Tim Tszyu in that thing. You know what I mean? And that fight that they got going on. But regardless, for the time being, we're going to put them, in separate brackets. You feel what I'm saying? Just to see who will come out on top of this tournament. You feel what I mean? So I'm going to share the screen. And we gonna get into this, man. We're going to get into this. Shout out to everybody that's in the building. You feel what I'm saying? We got 23 likes with 27 people. Let's get the likes up to 27, y'all. Let's get the likes up to 27. Let me share this screen right here. And let's get to it. So this is the bracket right here. Like I said, Terrence Crawford, Jamel, Bakram, Tim Tszyu, Virgil Ortiz, and Sebastian Fundora. You feel what I'm saying? We're gonna start the tournament right now. And who's the first bout that we going with? I'm assuming Terrence Crawford is going to take on the winner of Jamel Charlo and Bakram Mortazaliev. So let's just go with this one right here, man. Jamel Charlo versus Bakram Mortazaliev. Who do y'all got winning this? In my personal opinion, I respect Bakram Mortazaliev, you know what I'm saying? But I do think that Jamel Charlo is the more polished, skilled fighter. And I think Jamel Charlo is a very dangerous style for Bakram. You feel what I'm saying? I just think he's better than him all around the board. That's just my personal opinion. But I want to hear what you guys got to say because, Jamel has been inactive. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't been around the 154-pound division. And there's a new kid on the block. So does that new kid have what it takes to defeat Jamel Charlo? He said Jamel Bakram is dangerous, but he's too slow. Yeah. I seen Bakram fight. He's aggressive. He's definitely dangerous, strong. But like I said, I do think that skills will pay the bills in that bout, and I think that Jamel is just better than Bakram all around. So I think there's a general consensus here. Thomas Rice said that's barbecue chicken for Jamel. Okay. So we're gonna put Jamel past him right here. So Jamel comes out victorious going into this bout. Now let's go into the fight that was supposed to happen, but Tim Tszyu's injury did not heal up in time, and that was Tim Tszyu versus Virgil Ortiz. You see what I'm saying? I actually like this fight right here. I don't think this fight goes 12 rounds in my opinion. Uh, um, Tim Tszyu, he been on straight. He been on a hell of a run. You know what I'm saying? Fighting the best guys possible, putting his money where his mouth is. Virgil Ortiz, he's been looking to make his name in the 154 division. He just beat Bohachuk. Most recently, it was a tough competitive fight, and Virgil Ortiz showed a lot of immaturity in there. In all honesty, man, loading up on big shots, being defensively, loading up on big shots and missing, all crazy. You know what I'm saying? Show fatigue. I even seen him. He even had gotten knocked down from what I understand against, Bohachuk. You feel what I'm saying? So it was a tough, it was a tough, grueling fight for him, but he came out victorious when a lot of people thought Bohachuk did enough to win the fight. You know what I'm saying? Tim Tszyu, he's coming off a loss in his last fight. You feel what I'm saying? After sustaining a bad cut, but I do think the cut is what played the part in him coming up short. You feel what I'm saying? What you mean immaturity? Like getting angry? What I mean by immaturity is, not setting up your punches and just loading up on big shots, looking for a home run shot. You know what I'm saying? Real maturity in boxing is understanding that, punches need to be set up in order to, land successfully. You know what I'm saying? Because when you fighting at a certain level, those big telegraph power punches are going to be seen from a mile away. You feel what I'm saying? When you're truly an elite level fighter, you're calm, composed. I didn't see that a lot in Virgil. I seen Virgil getting frustrated and pretty much losing focus throughout the fight, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And Ralph says making stupid mistakes. That's something that I've seen Virgil Ortiz do consistently throughout the fight. I do feel like, Virgil Ortiz is dangerous. He has a shit ton of power. However, I do think that Tim Tszyu is the more mature fighter. I do think that there's definitely I just trust Tim Tszyu's character more going into this fight in terms of being patient, composed, you know what I'm saying, setting up his shots, and not losing focus when things don't seem to be going his way. You know what I mean? I just feel like Virgil Ortiz is, immature in that aspect, in my opinion. No disrespect. So who do y'all got? So I got two people voting for Virgil, but then I got Peaceful got Tim, Old School got Tim, Anonymous got Tim, Ralph got Tim. So it seems like Tim has the majority vote in this situation. Y'all let me know before I make this right here. Thomas Wright. Wait. Okay, Thomas Wright changed his choice to Tim. All right. So we're gonna go with Tim Tszyu. So Tim Tszyu comes out victorious against Sebastian Fundora. So now we left with the fight that I would love to see, in all honesty, man. I think this is one of the best fights to be made at 154, in my opinion, a slept-on fight. And maybe it's because Jamel Charlo been, he been away for a little while. But Coffee Plant said Virgil's a bad motherfucker. I agree with you. I agree with you. But regardless, uh, I think Tim Tszyu will. I would favor Tim Tszyu going into that fight. You know what I'm saying? So let's go with Terrence Crawford versus Jamel Charlo. Man, I fucking love this fight right here. And I think this is a closer bout than a lot of people would give credit for, man. When Jamel Charlo was at the top of 154, his performances against Tony Harrison, his performances against uh 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 fucking Brian Castano, you know, Charles Hadley. I loved all of those performances that he had. The Jason Rosario bout. Jermell Charlo was steamrolling shit. You know what I'm saying? So I do think this is a tough competitive fight, but at the same time, I think that Terrence Crawford at this point, man, he's just on a different level. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Very intelligent, very experienced at this point, a seasoned vet. You know, has a lot of tools in his tools box. He has the ability to make adjustments, unlike a lot of fighters. Punches hard with both hands. Uh, the ring generalship off the charts. In all honesty, I love how he variates his punches. He's an accurate puncher, whether it's up top or to the body. And Jermell Charlo, he can lose his composure throughout the fight. I've seen it happen. When things start to not go his way. But one thing about Jermell Charlo, he maintains his strength throughout the entire course of the fight. So he's always going to be game in all honesty. But I do think that, Terrence Crawford is the superior boxer in terms of, ring intelligence, uh, his ability to adjust. I do think he's a better thinker in the ring. And I just think he's the more intelligent fighter overall. I don't know if I really need to get into details in all honesty. And Jermell Charlo does leave himself vulnerable to some good counters. I think that's what had gotten him. I thought it was a knockdown with Castano. You feel what I'm saying? I seen him get buckled by Tony Harrison. You know what I'm saying? So I do think there's some defensive irresponsibilities there on his end, and I feel like Terrence Crawford, you know, is a fucking hell of a sniper, and he could definitely catch Jamel lacking. You feel what I'm saying? So I think Terrence Crawford comes out on top. What do you guys think? Let me look at these comments. I'm gonna switch over here. All right, let me check. It seems like the overwhelming majority is gonna have Terrence Crawford. Let me see. So the first one I see, so Thomas Coffee Plant. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, 5. Okay, 6, 7. All right, shit. Seems like a clean blow off of Jamel Charlo to lose against Terrence Crawford. You feel what I'm saying? So it seems like Terrence Crawford's gonna come out on top of this bout as well. But let me answer this question right here. Uh, what's his name? Damano. It says, "Do you think there will ever be a time where fighters in this era are fighting around 4 to 5 times a year?" Um, I do think at this point in time, it's going to start to slow down when they're at the beginning of their careers. They could probably fight 4 to 5 times because, you know, most likely the events aren't going to be revolved around them, and they won't be demanding much money. So, it's not like these networks or these promoters are going to be breaking their budgets to put them on the card. That's where Abdullah Mason is right now. His price isn't that crazy. So Top Rank will keep him busy because, it's not like they breaking the bank in order to, place him on a bout. However, when you do become a star, when you do become a world champion, you become a bigger name, that price tag is a little bit different at the negotiation table. And networks, promoters, whatever the case may be, whoever's fronting the money, they only have a certain budget for the year, and their whole objective is to not go past that budget. So let's say the budget for a year is $10 million. You know what I'm saying? If you're requesting $5 million or $3 million a fight, you know what I'm saying? They got to keep that money they got to stretch them bills out as long as they can. So, if they got $10 million and they also had to pay other fighters on the card, uh, you most likely only gonna be able to get like 2 bouts out of that budget. You feel what I'm saying? So, but then at the same time, we seen Canelo maintain a lot of activity when he requests a lot of money. So I guess it just depends on, who's willing to put the bread up to see you fight and if they're willing to put up the money on a consistent basis. You know what I'm saying? I think it's possible, but for a lot of these regular fighters, I do feel like it's gonna be tough to fight 4 to 5 times a year in this current climate. So, anyways, Terrence Crawford comes out on top against Jermell Charlo. So now, and we already seen this fight, people. We already seen this fight. Sebastian Fundora that came out on top. So we could either do this, where it's like we already seen a fight, Sebastian Fundora comes out on top, or we could reassess the fight and really think about who may possibly win in the rematch. It's up to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because this bout right here isn't fantasy. This fight actually happened, y'all. So are we reassessing this fight, or are we just gonna go with what happened in reality, which was Sebastian Fundora coming out on top? Coffee Plant said we all know he lost because of the cut. Okay. That's how I felt. I do feel like Tim Tszyu was starting to, put the beats on Fundora until that elbow took place. From a rematch perspective, reassessment, okay. So if that's the case, it seems like the overwhelming majority have Tim Tszyu winning. So Coffee Plant got Tim, Agent 007 got Tim, Tom got Tim, Peaceful got Fundora. Anonymous got Tim, Ralph got Tim. Okay. Seems like Tim comes out on top. Pause. Teach says Fundora. Okay. So that's 2 votes for Fundora, but regardless, it seems like Tim Tszyu has the majority vote. So I'm going to have to put Tim Tszyu ahead after reassessing the fight. Not going with what happened in the last bout, but just, not taking, just reassessing what would have happened in the rematch. You feel what I'm saying? So Tim Tszyu comes out on top. So now in the final of this Super 6 tournament, it happens to be the fight that I first called Terrence Crawford to take on in his debut at 154 pounds. And that was against Tim Tszyu. You feel what I'm saying? So, Terrence Crawford, the number 1 seed against the number 3 seed and Tim Tszyu. You know what I'm saying? This is a great fight. This is a great fight, but I do feel like stylistically, Terrence Crawford comes out on top of this fight. You feel what I'm saying? I do think that he's the superior boxer. I do think that, Terrence Crawford's jab alone will really have Tim Tszyu, frozen, stuck in the mud. You know what I'm saying? I do think that, Terrence Crawford has the better boxing brain. Pause, I guess you would say. And I think he'll take total control over the fight. I think this will be a chess match that, won't be too competitive. You feel what I'm saying? That's just my opinion. You feel me? So Terrence Crawford, I would have him beating Tim Tszyu by unanimous decision. I do think that Tim Tszyu will be game throughout the time. I see him trying, trying to find different ways, but I do think that, Terrence Crawford is just on a different level. You know what I'm saying? So I think Terrence Crawford comes out on top, and it looks like everybody else has Bud winning as well. I haven't seen anybody vote for Tszyu. You said put Boots there. Boots isn't at 154. You know what I'm saying? So I can't put him there. You said, Teach says 50-50. Okay. I don't think it's 50-50, but that's your opinion. You feel me? So okay. This was a pretty easy bracket to come out with. And it seems like Terrence Crawford wins the Super 6 tournament at 154 pounds. You feel what I'm saying? So we can mark this as complete. It is what it is. So just to go over this, man, Jermell Charlo starts off with Bakr Mortazaliev, comes out on top. You feel what I'm saying? Tim Tszyu goes up against Virgil Ortiz, and we're under the impression that Tim Tszyu comes out victorious. So now that goes into the second bracket. Terrence Crawford takes on Jermell Charlo. We feel like Terrence Crawford has the tools necessary to come out on top, so we vote for Terrence Crawford. Tim Tszyu versus Sebastian Fundora. We were reassessing the fight, not going off of the fight that just happened, just assuming that it was a rematch, and we feel like Tim Tszyu uh, would have learned from that fight, and I do think that special circumstances gave Sebastian Fundora the ability to defeat Tim Tszyu that night. But if we're talking about, without the elbow, without the cut, we do think that Tim Tszyu will come out on top against Sebastian Fundora. So that leaves the final being between Terrence Crawford and Tim Tszyu. Uh, and I've been saying this. I feel like Terrence Crawford has all the tools necessary to defeat Tim Tszyu. Tim Tszyu is a rough, gritty, come forward fighter. That has a shit ton of power. However, I do think that Terrence Crawford has the skills necessary. I think he has the defensive responsibility necessary. I think he has the ring generalship, and his ability to make adjustments overall is enough in itself to defeat Tim Tszyu. So I have Terrence Crawford coming out victorious against Tim Tszyu and winning the final Super 6 tournament at 154 pounds, y'all. Let me see. He said, am I tripping for thinking Bud would have an easier time with Zoo than he did with Madrimov? No, I don't think you're tripping at all because, Madrimov brings a different type of style to the plate that's harder to figure out than Tim Tszyu. That constant, the constant feints and the rhythm and the bouncing on the toes, that's very difficult to time. You feel what I'm saying? Madrimov is not the easiest person to figure out or, get a feeling for what he's about to do next. He's a pretty unorthodox fighter that in all honesty, it's gonna be extremely difficult to pick up a timing on. You feel what I'm saying? Because he could come, he could be, fainting you, what I'm saying, bouncing on the toes, and you think he gonna lead with a right hand, and then he shoot a jab. And when you think he about to initiate with a jab, he'll shoot a straight right hand. You feel what I'm saying? Terrence Crawford was able to neutralize some things that Madrimov does, but it was a pretty difficult fight. Tim Tszyu, in all honesty, and ain't no disrespect to him, he's a pretty straight, he's a pretty regular, straight up and down type of fighter. You feel what I mean? So it's not going to be much obstacles for Terrence Crawford to figure out amongst Tim Tszyu. He just got to be able to, make, he got to be responsible with his hands. He don't want to get hit with a right hand from Tim Tszyu or anything like that, or be up against the ropes. That'll give Tim Tszyu the opportunity to land some big blows. If Terrence Crawford keeps it in the center of the ring and, keeps him at the end of his punches, who he has a significant reach advantage over, I do think that he'll pick Tim Tszyu apart. Madrimov, on the other hand, he was a different type of puzzle. You feel what I'm saying? He was a different type of puzzle. So I do think that he'll have an easier time defeating Tim Tszyu in comparison to Madrimov. And I think that Madrimov is amongst the best at 154 in all honesty. So, I think he'll show improve in this fight with Bohachuk. You feel what I'm saying? That's just my personal opinion. But yeah, man, that's the the bracket that you guys had asked for. I actually enjoy doing these fantasy matchups. With weight classes, y'all need to let me know what weight class we should do next, in all honesty, because this is pretty dope to do. Now, I think a heavyweight one would be dope. 175 would probably be cool. No, wait. A heavyweight Super 6 tournament would be dope. Let me see. What else? What other weight classes would be cool? Thomas Ray said heavyweight. Yeah, I agree. Light heavyweight, I feel like 126, that'd be interesting. Okay. It seems like heavyweight. I want to do heavyweight too. 168, but we're gonna have to take not Beterbiev. We're gonna have to take Benavidez and Morel out. So who's that gonna leave? If we do Jaime Munguia. So Jaime Munguia, Caleb Plant, Edgar Berlanga, Christian Mbili. We could do Diego Pacheco, and who am I missing? I guess you could throw Jamal in there. 168 got a little good John going on over there. Nah, hold up. We could do. Yeah, I forgot about Canelo. How the fuck I forget about Canelo? I'm drunk. So Canelo, Munguia, Plant. Anonymous says Canelo, Munguia, Plant, M. Billy, Berlanga, Pacheco. I like that. I like that. Who did I miss? I said Jamal. Yeah, you could take Jamal out. I like that. We could do 126 too. Okay. I like the heavyweight though. Wait though, man. Jamal honorable mention. Yeah. Even though he technically hasn't. Well, technically he has for. That was that fight with Jose Benavidez Jr. That was a super middleweight contest. Anything past 160 is super middleweight. Even if it's 161, that's super middleweight because it ain't 160. So Jamal, he technically a super middleweight right now. I like it. I like the heavyweight one though, man. We should do the heavyweight one. I think that's what I want to do. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start with that one. Then we could go to 68. Then if we could do a 126 one, that'd be cool too. 130, it's cool. Heavyweight is a fun one. Yeah, exactly. Usyk, Fury, Dubois, Bacoli, Parker, Zhang. Yeah, I like that. Especially throwing Bacoli in the mix. That make that shit fire, bro. Bacoli really got me excited for the heavyweight division. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah. All right. So the next bracket, the next Super Six tournament bracket we gonna do is heavyweight. You feel what I'm saying? Watch how these other channels start dicky and start trying to do this shit with they people. You feel what I'm saying? I'm saying they gonna be dicky and crazy, but you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty exhausted, y'all. I ain't gonna lie to you. So I think I'm gonna wrap this live up, man. I appreciate everybody that came through and showed love to the channel. That was a good conversation we had about Gervonta Davis. You know what I mean? We did a dope Super Six tournament, heavyweight, and then 160. 160 is a solid one too. I feel like 168 will be a little bit more fun. But regardless, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. But the heavyweight one is definitely next, though. So I'm going to get up out of here and get me some rest, man. I appreciate everybody that came through and showed love to the channel. Y'all can hit the like, hit the subscribe button, share the video, get a membership with the channel. That'll be very much appreciated, man. I'll be back at y'all with another live and possibly another video tomorrow afternoon. So be on the lookout for that. Until then, this was Zuma TV. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm out of here, man. Peace.